Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Motion Anarchy, and in this video I'm going to be going over the masking procedure, the prepping procedure, and the sealer for this 1971 K5 Blazer that I'm doing right now. If you guys just tuned into this video, I'm working on a 71 Blazer, getting ready for sealer, going to paint it. If you haven't already watched the first and second video, do so. It'll kind of explain a little bit more about this build. But just to kind of dive into exactly what we're going to be doing today, I already started masking the floor down, and as well as some of the shelving and tools that I have. I've already started doing that. I will be covering the garage up, the ceiling, putting some covers down so I can kind of box this in. It will have a lot of overspray, but as far as the finished product before sealer, that's what this looks like. It came out awesome. The lines are very smooth, very consistent. I try to do my best, but you know, the thing is time. You know, I could probably go another month at this, but I just wanted to get this done and over with. So it's almost about to be a few weeks into this build now, so you know, I want to keep the distance short, but I want to make it look good. So I already started doing this side, put this in 320, and then I hit it with a red Scotch-Brite pad. So I knocked this down. The paint has been on here for about a week already, and I wanted to make sure before I put this in here that I had it already Scotch-Brited down. So here's this side. So I'll be masking off the inside as well, taping all this stuff up. This will have bed liner on it when it's finished, but I will put an even coat on there just in case I change my mind. As far as everything in the floor and the backside of the tailgate, I will be doing bed liner. The inner fender wells, I'll be doing bed liner. Throughout the frame rails, leaf springs, I'll put those in satin black, but all that will be rhino lined down the frame. This will be removed. All that will be rhino lined. As far as the front of the truck goes, anything with surface rust, I decided I'm just going to go ahead and re-scuff this, sand this down, paint it satin black to match the inside of the engine bay. And then up into this cowl area, I'll do the same black because the upper cowl panel will be the body color. So that'll hide pretty much all of this. You'll only see this feature right here. So I'm just gonna get right into it. I got quite a bit of stuff to do still. I do want to make sure that this is a really clean environment, so I'm trying not to create a lot of dust in here, but I will be having some fans on in here for the time being while I'm masking. I'll probably start from the top and work my way down. Alright guys, so I have the Blazer masked off. I have the garage masked off. You can see here I made my walls and covered up most of the garage. For the most part, I think I should have made this a little bit wider for me because of when I am spraying. I will have a little bit more room to maneuver, especially going down light. I don't want to knock anything down and step on this wall here. But I think we'll be okay. I have my little fan that's going to help me get through everything. Is this okay? This is alright. It's not the best, but for my time crunch for the sealer, I thought this is perfect. For the base and clear, I will be having 4 more of these throughout the bottom part of this garage, and I will have some filters to help that as well, so it's not getting all in the backyard. But as of right now, what I'll be doing is just mask degreasing this. Alright, so I have soy-based wax and grease, so what I'll do is I'll wipe that with this microfiber, and to finish it off with a dry film. Right before I seal it, I will have this tack cloth that I will go ahead and wipe it down real quick, but this right here will just get any of that little oil fingerprints on this panel right here. So you know, we'll just work it one panel at a time and, you know, cover the whole vehicle, and should be good as gold. Alright, so the truck is degreased, and what I'll be doing now is mixing this 4:1 ratio for the sealer. I'll walk through that real quickly, and then as I'm sealing, I will have to cover the camera up a little bit because I do not want any overspray on there, but what I'll do is I can show you guys finished product, and then I'll kind of go over, you know, what pressure I'm going to be using, what tip size, and probably be putting on a suit because I'm sweating pretty bad. I don't want it to get on the truck as I'm spraying, so better safe than sorry. Let's get to it. I will be setting up this 4:1 real quickly, going through this cup. It kind of shows you different ratios depending on what we're going to be doing. For this, I'll be using a 4:1, which is right here. I'm going to be using it all the way to the max. It's a bigger panel, so just to quickly get rid of all these, just to kind of break it down a little faster for you guys. I will be using this ratio, which is a 4:1, 4-part sealer, and then 1-part activator. And what I'll do is I'll just kind of go through there. I got some filters here I'll be putting in. As I'm going to be putting this in, I want to make sure that I fill it all the way up to the top. Since this filter only comes down to right here, a little trick I'll do is cut one other cup out. When I put this filter in, I can use that 4:1 and still bring it all the way to the top. So this white has been sitting for a little bit, so you can see kind of cleared up to the top. Doesn't take really much to get it mixed. Alright guys, so I have the truck in sealer now, and it's been about 14 hours since I sprayed it. With 2 coats, this thing came out awesome. As you can see, very, very clean. No dust or debris in this at all. I did get 2 runs in here total, but that's alright because as you can see, I don't know if you could see that right there, and then right here. After that, this was actually one of the first panels I started spraying anyway, so I was still new to the gun settings. As you can see, that's how my layout was on the gun. So I went ahead and just sprayed it. That was at 26 pounds of pressure, and I covered pretty much the entire truck. Tailgate came out awesome. Passenger side came out awesome. Super happy. So the next process for this will be to, you know, take all the covers off, open the front garage door, and then I'm going to start wet sanding this truck with P600 to get that ready for base. And you know, when I'm doing that, I'll get rid of this. I'll be able to knock that down. I did put a high build of sealer on here, so 2 coats is all I needed. But it came out awesome. Alright guys, so I got the Blazer out of the garage and I have it in the sunlight just so you guys can see how bright this sealer is. It's freaking awesome. So my next process now is I will be wet sanding. First, I will be filling up some water. I do have this water filter. It's a carbon filter. I do use that for the wet sanding process, and I'll be using P600 grit for the wet sanding process as well. I'll be doing all that stuff outside, so then I can just wipe it off right there, move it back in here, rewrap it, and then it should be good. Alright, so I have my bucket of water. I have P600 that I'll be using to block this whole entire truck down, and I got another water bottle that'll help me spray the panels so I'm not dumping the sandpaper back into dirty water and then putting that back on here. I'm going to try and get rid of that step, just keep it clean the whole process, so let's just get at it. The tailgate and the quarter is blocked out in 600, and as you can see, it looks really clean. Look at the side. It's pretty. Feels much better. Really soft. You could hear, watch. This is coming out awesome. This is coming out super, super clean. Very happy with the product so far. Alright guys, so I got the truck in P600 last night, and back in the garage before the night was up, started wrapping the bottom and the walls. As far as the garage door I did, and then the other wall in the back I did. I will be doing this first, but I will be kind of going over quickly as far as the ventilation system, what I'll be doing. So I'll be going to the local hardware store, picking up some fans that'll kind of match this. And then I will shut the garage door up until that point, tape it off, and then put another 20 by 10 cover on this back wall, and I'll kind of lead it up against this, so anything that's covered in here will be taken out in this area in the back of the garage. So you could see that the space I have is way more. Since last time I had some difficulties with the cover being too close to the blazer, so when it was breezing like this, it was kind of getting too close for me. This time I made sure I moved the blazer over also another foot to give me some more room over here, because I will have to put a stool here to get to this area, the upper windshield area. I'm trying to get a area so you can see it, but you can kind of like really nice and consistent, real smooth. I did the little areas like this that you don't really see. I kind of stopped right in this area But even right here, it was pretty good. This I did all in 600 as well. Yeah, overall, it just like... Painting this Blazer, I have everything masked off, all the walls up, I got the fans running. I actually haven't showed you guys this little setup I got going on. So I have these 4 fans aiming the opposite direction. So that way any of that paint overspray is just going to kind of go right out the garage. I also moved the compressor outside. Now I did that because this 2-stage compressor blows into the area that the Blazer's in the front. So I didn't want any of the overspray or dust particles getting on the surface as it's trying to cure. So I moved the compressor outside. I put some separator, air water separators. I put 4 of them in just so we don't have any water in the lines. And I just started waxing greasing the truck down. So I guess for the next few processes, what I'll do is set up the paint supplies. I'll go over that with you guys. I am using a 2-to-1 product for the color that we'll be spraying. It's all Limco product. It's my first time using it, so I guess we'll see how it goes. As far as the gun I'll be using is an Eastwood gun with the 1.3 tip on it. And then I'll have that set to about 27 pounds throughout that process. I'm going to spray about 3 coats of the cream, and then I'm going to spray about 3 coats of the clear with 4-to-1 clear glamour. Alright guys, so I have this LT100 Eastwood gun that I've been using for a few years now. It's awesome, super reliable, and it's very cheap, to be honest. So a little bit about this setup. It's nothing crazy. I got the air regulator right here. This one does have a air regulator as well, so I can control the fluid, the air going into this gun. A lot of guns don't have that, so this feature is pretty awesome. And then for what I do with the fan setup and the trigger setup I leave all the way. So I'll back this all the way in right now, because how they typically come is everything's all backed in, so it's locked right now. So what I do is I back this out, and you'll see my finger on the trigger start to get closer, and until I feel it stop is where I stop screwing this in. I go back, and once I start to feel exactly where this is coming in, which is right about there, so now that's full. So then what I do is for the fan setup, typically they come, when you hit it, it's like a bullseye. I'll open this all the way up, so that way I can start, you know, on one of the covers here. I'll kind of show you. I'll spray it there before I hit the panel, just to see how the fan setup is, and I'll probably bring it a little closer, depending on how bad it is, which I'll show. But yeah, the regulator, I'll set this up to like 28 pounds of pressure. And the tip is a 1.3 tip, so let's get started. Very simple, got this at the local hardware store. It does have a cover. And then I have a respirator and everything. And kind of right now what I want to go over is the mixing process for this 2-to-1. So this one's been sitting for a little bit, so I'll let it kind of mix it for a few minutes, let it kind of set in its color. So I'll be doing 3 coats of this with about 15 minutes of waiting time per coat. Now that I got a filter, pour this filter in there.
Alright guys, so I got the first coat on right now. It laid out really nice. I actually have no runs. I'll show you some of the panels here. But for the most part here, let me turn my light on so you can see how nice that came out with the 1-3 tip. No bugs. That's just the first coat. What I'll do is I'll let this flash off for about 10 more minutes and we'll go right into this next coat, but it's looking awesome. And it's got that nice cream color that I was looking for. I didn't know how it was going to be, but it ended up coming out real nice. So yeah, we're going to spray some more coats, probably another few, and then be done with it. Let's get at it.
Alright guys, so the third coat is down. The base is done. Also, I made quite a mess when I was mixing everything. So I'm going to be doing that as well. Look at that. Oh man. Really, really nice. Laid out very, very nice. No bugs, no runs. This is at 29 pounds of pressure. I didn't have to adjust it at all during the process. For the clear, I might go to like 31, but I kind of want to see how it sprays out first, so let's get at it. Alright guys, so I got the first coat done on the clear. And as you can see, it already has a nice sheen to it. No runs on this side that I had seen yet. No bugs. Very, very clean. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Hope you guys liked. I will be showing you the next process, which will be the wet sanding and the assembly of the 1971 Chevy Blazer that we just painted. So thank you guys again. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. That would help out a lot for me. And I'll keep going, putting out more content. Alright guys, peace.